I really hope like I'm provoking a lot of questions in your minds. The first system of apartheid actually was abolished. The first system of apartheid was imposed by the founders of the State of Israel on the remaining population in Palestine. Today, we speak about a commemoration of Nakba. What is Nakba? It's a reference to the efforts of nearly 70,000 militants who are the founders of the State of Israel in Palestine. 70,000 criminals moved city to city, town to town, village to village, committing atrocities, murdering nearly 15,000 people in what became the first genocide. But we did not focus on 15,000 Palestinians were murdered in that area. We did not focus on them because we were focusing on nearly 750,000 people who turned homeless, you know? And that is, when we talk about the first Nakba or the catastrophe, we're referring to Palestinians who were kicked out of their communities and turned out homeless, right? That process went on for 20 months. The reason we look at 14 or 15 of May is because in 14 or 15 of May, like it became official that Palestine will no longer be called Palestine, but will be called Israel. And those 70,000 militants, when they succeed in displacing a Palestinian, they also prevent them from going back to their homes, okay? In fact, it's not like, I want to come back, no, you're not allowed. No, you want to come back? We'll consider you an infiltrator, we'll execute you, we'll deport you, or arrest you. This is what, when I say like I'm not allowed back, I'm saying that if I do it, I'm considered an infiltrator, and I will be executed, I will be arrested or deported. So this is what I mean by like pushing people out and not allowing them back, which is the reality until today. That population that was expelled from 530 or 531 Palestinian communities within this white area, those were 85% of the Palestinian population at the time. 15% remained. So that 15% survived the first apartheid regime, which was made of Israeli military rule. It lasted from 1949 until the year 1966. You know, in 1966, when America was abolishing the political aspect of Jim Crow, the State of Israel was introducing Jim Crow. You know, it's a civil set of rules that maintain a primitive status for those who were born to Palestinian families on this land. Their label stopped being Palestinian. What does the State of Israel call or refer to the survivors of the ethnic cleansing of Palestine, like residents of Nazareth? Arab Israelis. You know, because Israel is the center. You are an Arab. You are imposed on us. You are not a genuine. Like a resident, a member of a family from Nazareth is not a genuine member of Nazareth. He's imposed on us. You know, he's imposed on the State of Israel. When you refer to Palestinians with the term Arab Israelis, then you create an artificial connection between them and any community that speaks Arabic in the Middle East. Saudi Arabia, for example. But by default, you disconnect them from their families, their presence, and it's like you disconnect them from their homeland. When you call a Palestinian Palestinian in Palestine, you recognize their connection to their homeland. When you call them Israeli Arab, you disconnect them from their homeland and you place them somewhere else, right? There are 65 laws that the State of Israel maintains up until today that create a distinction between those who are born to Jewish families and the Palestinian population that lives in Palestine. Those 65 laws interfere in almost every aspect of your life. Your studies, your mobility, your right to build a house on your property, like anything you really think of. It covers almost every aspect of your life. The laws are either racist by practice and language, or decent in language, racist in practice. You know? Like one of the laws that I keep telling people like to look into are the urban planning laws. You know? Because you see the discrimination in a very, very visible way. As any city on the planet grows on an average of 1 to 3% of its actual size every year. You know, you look at Somerville back in 1949, for example, it would be like 90% smaller than what it is today. Why? Because it kept expanding naturally on the rate of 1 to 3% of its actual size every year. The city of Nazareth back in 1954 was 14 square kilometers. The city of Nazareth today is square kilometers. Was it allowed to urbanly expand by an inch? No. Who maintains that denial of expansion? The Israeli government, the Israeli Ministry of Planning and Construction. It's the exact same ministry that was given land by the Israeli government near Nazareth, like land stolen from Palestinian families. And under the Israeli government established a Jewish-only community near Nazareth, and they called it Upper Nazareth. Who lives in Upper Nazareth? Upper people. By the way, the name was changed, I think, 4 or 5 years ago because it was too racist, right? When we keep the racism, we just change the name. Because the state of Israel does not have a problem with, let's say, committing apartheid, but they will have a problem calling it apartheid. You know, like, they have no problem committing genocide, but they have a problem calling genocide genocide. You know? It's the same kind of thing. Upper Nazareth did not exist in 1954. Today, it's 34 square kilometers altogether. The state of Israel within this white area has 35 communities that are not recognized by the Ministry of Planning and Construction. They are called unrecognized villages. Guess what? By coincidence, all of them happen to be Palestinian communities. What does it mean when you live in a community that is not recognized by the authority? It means civil services will not make it to your community. Civil services like school, like clinic, like road, electricity grid, water network, you know? Your very existence in that piece of land is illegal. So what do we do with those unrecognized communities? We level them. There's a community in the south, in this area, called Al-Araqib. If you look it up, 3 weeks ago, had another report on the destruction of that community for the 240th time, which means that the residents rebuilt their shelters for 241 times. And the reason many people think like the people of the Palestinians of Al-Araqib are very strong. They would defy Israeli destruction, blah, blah, blah. Do you know why they keep rebuilding their homes? It's not a matter of resilience. You have nowhere else to go. If you had somewhere else to go, you would go. But you have nowhere else to go. That's why you're left with, they do their job, destroying your life, and you do your job, rebuilding your life. You know? And 240 times, just a lot, but people are forced to do that. Another law that actually seems is being always abused to distract people from Israeli criminal behavior or confuse people, which is the election law. You know, many defenders, supporters, and beneficiaries of Israeli criminal behavior go around saying that Israel, you know, is a democracy because they allow Arabs to vote, you know? Now, the Israeli election law is one of those obviously racist laws. You can read through the script and be impressed because maybe the election law is a little bit more advanced or different than the election law in America, because they don't use college voting or whatever, which I still don't understand. But all the text is there to distract you from one very, very, very important line. No party is allowed to participate in the elections if they negate the Zionist Jewish identity of the regime. For you to have some kind of freedom, it means that you have to be ruled by the will of the people, right? The state of Israel, with and without election law, is not ruled by the will of the people. It's ruled by an ideology, and the ideology is called Jewish nationalism, or as you know it as Zionism. So that's the ideology of the state. Anybody that negates that, not even challenge or demand to remove the ideology or reduce it from an ideology of a state to an ideology of a political party, all those people, they are not allowed to participate in the elections unless they are 100% submissive to the ideology of the regime. Now, if I was born to a Jewish family, I can't see the difference. Why? Because I already identify with the Zionist Jewish element of the state. But what if I was born to a Druze family, a Christian family, a Muslim family, a Baha'i family, and any of the other Palestinian families? You're welcome to participate in the elections, the outcome of which will never be representative of you. And that's it. Like, your participation or lack of participation is meaningless, Yet we have many Palestinians who participate in those elections. In one of the Israeli election circles, the third largest party in the Israeli parliament was called the Arab Coalition. It was not allowed in the government, and the members were there because that's what the election law is about. All those parties all those people joined the party that was submissive to the Zionist Jewish identity of the regime. Many people say like Palestinians should, or Arab Israelis should participate more in the elections to have more representatives or more representations. Because usually it's very easy to tell the dominated or the victims what they should do, But I wouldn't look at them this way. What if 100% of Jewish Israelis come to the next elections wanting to vote for a party that will fulfill freedom and equality for all, that will actually demand, reparations for Palestinian victims of Israeli oppression? What will happen? 100% of Jewish Israelis want to vote for my right to equality in the next elections. What will happen? They will not find a party to vote for, So it's not like Palestinians should do this or Palestinians should do that. Whatever Palestinians do under this first rule is really irrelevant. You can participate or not participate. At the end of the day, the regime is not going, to fulfill, let alone respect your rights as a person who's born free and equal. Many people try to say also, there is no equality in Israel. But it's not that. Equality in Israel is illegal. Like under Jim Crow, it's not there was no equality in America. Equality between a person born to a let's say African family and a person born to a Caucasian family, it's not that there was no equality. Equality was illegal. In the south of Africa, there is no equality. No, equality was illegal. In the same sense, equality under Israel's rule when it comes to this is made illegal. Now that's one system to look at as a system.